Hello, and welcome to Yoga with Adriann White at the Community Arts Center of Cambria County. Today, our chair yoga or seated yoga video is going to focus on a lot of standing movement. Why do we want to do movement for yoga? Because it's an important component of balance. If we're standing up talking with someone, that's generally not when we fall. We fall when we are walking, we fall when we are changing directions, we fall when we're changing levels, going up or down steps. So today, let's go and stand behind our chair. We can use our chair to hold on to with one or both hands as needed. If you feel pretty good about the exercises that we're doing and you don't feel you need the support of the chair, be welcome to let your arms relax by your sides. Okay, so since we already discussed that many of our accidents that are movement-based happen when we change direction, when we're changing levels, or when we start or stop, today let's start simply by doing a step to the right and a step to the left. So if we step right foot out, bring left foot in to join it, and then step left foot out and bring right foot in. For most of us, that's pretty easy. Okay? So stepping to the right, stepping to the left. Now, let's make it a little bigger. Let's do 2 steps to the right, from the center of your chair, perhaps to the edge of your mat, and then back to the center of the chair. Now let's go all the way 2 steps to the left. And then 2 steps back behind the chair. How about 2 more steps all the way to the right? This time let's do it without stopping behind the chair. When have you ever had to sidestep recently? Perhaps you've been in the grocery store and people are talking, blocking the aisles, or there's a clerk stocking shelves, and maybe you have to sort of sidestep to skinny your way between the shelves and that barricade or block that's in the way. We're also using inner thigh and outer thigh muscles. Our outer thigh muscle pulls the leg out. Our inner thigh muscle brings the leg together. So we are working to create strength in our leg muscles. We're also moving our leg bones in our hip sockets. When we walk, our legs swing forward. But what we just did going sideways moved the leg bones in a hip socket in a completely different direction to help us maintain mobility in our hips. The next exercise that we are going to do involves simply walking. So let's sidestep to the right side of our mat. We'll turn to face the mat in front of us, and we are simply going to take however many steps we need to walk to the end of the mat. My challenge to you is don't walk with your head down looking at where your feet are. Walk with your head up. You've already seen that the area in front of you is clear. There's nothing to fall over. So just walk and see if the soles of your feet can tell you when you've stepped off your mat. Now, the challenge is, can you walk backwards? However many steps it takes to get to the far end of your mat. And now can we do that just going forward, feeling when we've come to the edge of the mat, and then walking backwards, letting our feet feel when we get to the other end of the mat. For most of us, we feel pretty comfortable when we're walking forward because that's the direction we tend to walk most in life. Do you notice when you're walking backward? Do you take more steps? Do they become shorter? That's pretty common. So let's go behind the chair. Take a moment and notice. How do you feel? Is your heart beating a little harder? Is your breath coming a little faster? Not necessarily because of the exertion, but because of the emotional issue of safety when it comes to walking backwards. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is turn from one side to the other. So if we're standing behind the chair, let's turn to face the right wall, and then we'll turn to face center. We'll turn to face the left wall, and we'll turn to face center. Can we do it as 2 steps? Right foot steps out, left foot steps to join, left foot steps out, right foot steps to join, and then as we go left again, left foot steps out, right foot joins. So simply 2 movements of our feet to turn our direction. And how comfortable do you feel? Does where your eyes travel affect your balance? Can you let your gaze sweep the room? I'm fortunate here at the Art Center we have an Allied Artist exhibit currently on display, and I get to scan some amazing artwork. Let's come back to face forward. Now we're going to up the challenge. When we just did our turns right and left, we turned to the chair so that it was there for us to hold on to as we needed it. If you feel that you can safely do so, this time let's turn to the right. Now turn to your right again so that you are facing the back wall. The chair is behind you. And now we'll turn right again and right again, a complete circle. We're going to turn left. That means I'm stepping out with my left foot, turning to face the left wall. Again, I step out with my left foot to face the back wall. Chair's behind me. Again, turn with the left foot and turn and come back to center. How did we do? Now, can we do our turn to our right, leading with our right foot, to walk the entire circle without stopping? Okay, so instead of one wall, one wall, one wall, one wall, can we do it as a complete circle without any stopping? And when you get back to center, if you need, hold the chair. If you need to take a moment to let any lightheadedness or dizziness settle, do what you need to do. Are we ready to try it to the left? Let's give it a try. So when you're ready, left foot steps out, and we do one wall, another wall, a third wall, and finally a fourth wall. Now let's do it this time without any hesitation. We're going to turn all the way around in a nice smooth circle. Same footwork, just not pausing at all. And again, as we come back to center, you are welcome to hold on to the chair. Just take a few moments, nice smooth breaths. How do you feel? Was that easy for you, or was that challenging? Remember, there's no correct answer. Just honestly observe your body's reaction to what we were doing. Now we're only going to do a partial turn to each side, and we are going to do it by stepping back with the opposite foot. So if I'm standing, I'll stand aside of the chair so you can see me. If I want to turn to face the left wall, my weight is on my right foot, and I am going to step my left foot back and then turn my right foot to face that wall. To come to center, I turn with the right foot and come to center. Now to turn to face the right wall, I'm going to swing my right foot back behind me. Left turns to come together. Now to face the front wall, left turns to face forward, and then right joins. So let's see if we can do that several times. We're going to turn to the left by having left foot step back, and then turn to face forward. Now turn to the right by having your right foot step back and turn to face forward. Can we do that 2 more times without stopping between left and right? So here we go, left foot. We face the left wall, we face forward, we face the right wall, we face forward, again to our left, and center, and again to our right, and center. Good. All right, another thing that we will do to help us with balance is to spend some time standing on one foot. If we stand on our left foot, simply bend your right knee so that your right ankle is behind you. And notice, how comfortable is your balance? Do you have a death grip on the chair? Do you just have a nice loose grip, maybe your hands just laying on it? Do you feel good enough with your balance that perhaps we can put our fingertips or a fingertip to the chair back? Anybody that feels really good maybe can lift the hand completely off the chair. as we bring that right foot back down, and we now share our weight equally with both feet. Do you notice how strong and firm that left calf muscle feels? It's a way of demonstrating how much muscle strength we need to have in our bodies, especially our legs, for balance. Now let's do the same thing, only this time we'll stand on the right foot. We're going to bend the left knee. Our two knees are aside of each other. I'm standing upright, nice and tall. Perhaps we can just hold the fingers to the chair. Maybe a few fingers, maybe one finger. Maybe we can go, look, Ma, no hands. And then when you're ready, we'll hold the chair. We'll put that left foot down. And as we again return our weight equally to both feet, did those right calf muscles really get a chance to be strong? Okay, we're going to step behind the chair so that you can hold on. I'm just going to hold the chair and stay to the side so that you can see. On our breath in, we're going to float our body up to come to our toes. On our breath out, we let our heels sink down. Now here's what I observe frequently in class. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I notice a lot of people do. They hold the chair, and when I say raise your heels, they lean forward over the seat of the chair. And then they wonder why they have to hold on to something, because they feel like they're going to fall over. Well, when you're standing, hopefully you're not standing leaning forward. Hopefully you're standing straight and tall. And we want to keep that straightness and that tallness as we raise our heels. If I were to stand like this and you could see, am I stacking my ear over my shoulder, over my hip, over my heel and my ankle? And I'm going to keep that as I'm going to keep my shoulders back above my hips. My knees are soft as I raise my heels. Notice I'm not leaning forward. And then as I bring my heels down, my shoulders and hips stay over the heels. So let's do that a couple times. Notice I'm not locking the knees backwards. Knees are straight, maybe even the least little bit of bend. And now as I stay stacked above those heels, let's inhale, push with the toes. Bring your weight into the big toe, the big ball of your foot. Not only because they're bigger and they're more surface area to support our body weight, those are stronger toes. They have bigger muscles. And then bring those heels down. If we look at our feet, our big toe obviously is called that because it's bigger. Our little toe, that pinky toe, think of that as the training wheel on the bicycle. You don't want to ride on that. But again, as we inhale and come on up, think of, in fact, I'll turn to the front. Think of squeezing your thighs, your ankles in towards each other so that you are rolling the weight towards the center line of your body, your big toes, the big ball of your foot, rather than letting it roll out to those little teeny tiny toes that don't support any weight. Roll it in and then come on back down. I'm going to encourage you to try that at home. So you're holding the chair, again, come on up onto the toes. Now let's intentionally roll the weight out to the little toes. Oh, can you feel how your ankles want to bow out, your knees want to bow out? For me, it's actually uncomfortable on my feet. So let's pull our weight back in. I'm using my inner thigh muscles to do that. And then when you feel better, we'll lower the heel. Good. Another thing that we can do to help us with our agility, our ability to keep our balance when we're moving, is to have very limber ankles, knees, and hips. So we've done some ankle things in other yoga videos. Let's just lift a knee up and we'll do some nice big circles of the foot, about 4 in one direction and then 4 in the other. Now if you would like, use your hand to hold your thigh still. From your knee joint, have the lower half of your leg move in a circle. I'm holding my thigh so that my leg does not move at the hip. I'm reversing it as only moving at the knee. And now another big movement would be through the hip socket. So again, we're standing to the left leg, left knee is relaxed, and I'm going to do a great big circle. Leg bone moving in the hip socket. Not just a little circle in front of me, but all the way across and up, all the way out and down. Let's do one more in this direction. And now can we reverse? and go out and up and in and down. How about 3 in this direction? You feel that leg bone moving? Do you feel the stretch in the glutes and the lower back? Maybe a little strength in those abdominals to help us move that leg. And when you're ready, come on down. We'll go to the left side of the chair so that this time we can stand on the right leg, bringing left knee up, doing our ankle circles. And we can reverse. Take your time with them. We're not trying to do 100. We're trying to do a few really big ones. And then if you want, hold the thigh still so that from the knee joint, we can move the lower half of our leg as if your foot is mopping up a spill on the floor with a rag. And we can reverse. Remember, nice slow breaths. And again, no hurry, full range of motion. And then if you need to take a moment to relax, now we'll move from the left hip socket up and out, all the way down. There you go. How about 2 more in this direction? That's the way. And when you're ready, we'll reverse. Remember, we're still breathing in and out with our long, slow breaths. 2 more. And our last one. And as we bring that leg down, whoo, how do those hips feel? Let's do some hula hoop circles with our hips. This is going to involve shifting your weight around the outer edges of your feet. So let's shift our weight to the left edge of each foot, to the toes, to the right, to the heels. Okay, notice from the navel up, my upper body is pretty still. I'm keeping my knees ever so gently bent as I'm rolling my weight around the outer edges of my feet, having my tailbone draw a circle between my ankles. Let's go back the other way. If you have to do any traveling, spending a lot of time sitting in a vehicle or a plane, if you get a chance when you make a pit stop, get up and go into the restroom and in the privacy of the stall, do a few hula hoop circles and see if that really helps make your hips and lower back feel better. Another exercise that we are going to do to be able to stay upright, to maintain our agility, our balance as we move, is to step backwards. That's right, so just let your arms hang down. If my weight's to my left foot, I step my right foot back and I come back to center. And then I step my left foot back and I come back. So just stepping right foot back and center, left foot back and center. Let's do that 2 more times each leg. In day-to-day life, most of us don't step backwards or walk backwards. And so when our bodies feel itself moving backwards, there's that natural fear, are we going to fall? Okay? So our challenge is to, again, not bend forward. If we think we're going to fall forward, don't we tend to lean, if we think we're going to fall backwards, don't we tend to lean forward? And this is what I don't want to see. I'm standing up tall, the whole body travels backwards, and then the whole body comes back to center. And as long as I can maintain this nice tall posture, it makes it a whole lot easier to maintain balance. Okay? So we've done things for the mobility of our joints. We've done things to train our body for movement and stay upright. Now we're going to stand behind the chair. If you'd like, you can hold on. I'm going to step my left foot out. I'm going to bend the knee into a lunge. And then I'm going to push back to center. This time left foot pushes me to step out with right foot, bend the knee into a lunge, and push back to center. Again, as we lunge side to side, can we stay upright in our posture? The second we start leaning forward is when we put ourselves at risk for falling forward. So let's stay upright, stepping out, pushing back to center, stepping out, pushing back to center. We're going to modify it. We're going to lift the leg up and step out. Now take that right leg and step up and pull it to the left. Let's step up with the right and now pull up and step with the left. And again, up and out with the left, up and out with the right. How are you doing about keeping your torso upright? When would you ever do this? Is this stepping over the edge of the bathtub at home? We've had some rain here recently. The other day I parked my car, and don't you know I opened the door? There's a huge water puddle. No other place to park, so I'm trying to do this deal to get out of the car, and when I got back, had to do this deal to get back into the car. So again, notice it helps us keep our balance. I stumbled a little bit, but I didn't fall off center. And by avoiding falls, I can avoid injury. Let's come to the front of the chair. We'll have our seat. And I'd just like to share with you a little tidbit that I learned recently. In people over 85 years of age, the conditions that occur after a fall tend to be the leading cause of death. Falling and breaking an arm, falling and breaking a leg, falling and breaking a hip aren't what kill the person. It's the pneumonia that they get while they're in the hospital, or their life becomes debilitated because now they're afraid of falling and they don't want to walk. They don't want to do things, and then their muscle tone deteriorates. Their heart function goes down, because you know what? Your heart is a muscle too. It needs exercise to have cardiac strength. Their lungs get weak because without exertion, they're not breathing hard, and now it's harder for them to catch the breath. So that's why balance is so very important as we age. Keeping our leg muscles, our feet muscles strong, keeping our joints limber so that we can move as we need to move to avoid those falls, so that we can stay safe and happy and healthy in our homes for as long as possible. Thank you for joining me here on the Community Arts Center of Cambria County's YouTube channel. I'm Adriann White, and I would like to encourage you to watch for another short video on balance exercises that can be done by folks who perhaps don't have quite as much physical mobility as what we did here today. Some things that we can use to help keep our balance without necessarily having as much leg movement. So watch for our seated balance exercise class. Again, thank you for joining us. Namaste.